So that first year, you had 0 sponsors. How were you able to pay for everything?
I put in my credit card. I went into debt for Frizz Fest.
You had pony
Yeah.
rides? The first
I
one?
think we had pony rides. It was either the first or
You were
second one.
determined. That's awesome. Whether you've noticed the new stars on Delmar, you're looking to get better at pickleball, or you're looking for another hot festival in St. Louis. Oh, wait. And I can't forget about restaurants. We got you guys covered on this week's episode of Oakcast. This is Braden STL.
And I'm Carlie Lawrence.
And welcome to week 2 of Oakcast. Can you believe it? We've made it this far.
I mean, I think, yeah.
Yeah, 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say if you're listening or you're watching this, we want your feedback. We want this to be the best podcast experience for you all because we're looking to change the way you experience St. Louis 1 episode at a time. And so if you're out on your walk, your run, you're driving, I don't know, you're playing pickleball, then we want to make sure that this is something that you enjoy. Or if you're just scrolling through social media and you're like, who are these 2 random people? We want to make this entertaining and exciting for you all.
So let us know.
And subscribe and tell your friends about us. And in case you're listening because you're curious on what's new to Duluth, we have you covered this week. And so I'm going to dive right in to something that not many people in St. Louis know about, and that's the St. Louis Walk of Fame. Now, the St. Louis Walk of Fame honors notable people from St. Louis or who made contributions to the culture of the United States. And I heard that one from Joe Edwards himself. So those are facts. Now, there are over 150 stars located amongst the 6 blocks on Delmar. And, you can also see stars from time to time. I know Chris Rock, when he was in town, people saw him going down the street. He went to the Moonrise. He went to Vintage Vinyl. But we're talking about the ones that are there 24/7. Now, recently, Harry Weber, who has done a lot of the famous statues around town, like the Dred Scott. He's also done different statues around Busch Stadium. He's gotten his own star. And then we had the Spinks brothers, Leon and Michael Spinks, which one lost to Mike Tyson in his very last fight after being undefeated. And the other one, he beat Muhammad in just his 8th fight. And so in case you didn't know, St. Louis has changed the world. We make a lot of rumble in the jungle. I don't know if one of those brothers have fought in it. But yeah, next time you're on Delmar, just check out the St. Louis Walk of Fame.
Braden, quick.
Okay.
Who do you think is on the Walk of Fame?
No.
Would go.
I said, because this is Oakcast. Insert sirens. I'm just kidding. Instantly, I mean, you got Nelly's on there.
Is he?
Yeah, he has to be.
I know, right? These are
Yeah.
there are people that I assume are on it that I'm not sure.
I think I did see his once. So there's Nelly, definitely Tina Turner. She's a queen. Chuck Berry. And then I know recently Andy Cohen. And so there's another 140. No, we mentioned 2. Another 144 names I need to look up.
Is John Goodman on it?
Surely, right?
Is John Hamm on it?
How many more Johns are you going to mention?
Just those two.
Just those 2? Okay. They both are on it. We just checked. Shout out to Beebs on the back. But yeah, next time you're just walk down the street and learn some history, and it'll motivate you
Get
and inspire
smarter.
you easily. And
One star at a time. 1 episode at a time.
And you know what?
What?
If I was, I'm gonna start subbing. Imagine me just showing up as a substitute teacher, and
You'd be such a good substitute teacher.
I would have a lot of fun. I'd be like, all right, kids, we're going to the Delmar Loop today. I want you all to stay within a few blocks of each other, and I want you to select somebody and write a paper on them.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're gonna do.
That'd be fun.
Hire me for your. I guess I could probably just apply online.
Write a paper and do a presentation.
Oh, a reenactment.
And dress up as them.
A reenactment.
Yeah, put on a little play.
I would dress as John Goodman. No, okay, now I wouldn't dress as John Goodman. I would be Sully.
Do
from Monsters, Inc.
Do an episode of Roseanne.
Oh my God. Or one time he was supposed to speak at Missouri State for what was it? It was like a commencement speech, but it was when The Hangover 3 was coming out, so he had to reschedule. So he missed that commencement speech for The Hangover 3.
Oh man.
But yeah, anyways, go for a walk, enjoy the Delmar Loop. It's one of my favorite places in town.
Oh, I'm gonna watch the movie The Flintstones when I get home.
Yabba dabba doo.
Get me a clean spoon. Oh my God. Okay, what's next?
Chicken in pickle.
Okay. That's this 300 something. Oh, that's a 300 something $1 million thing happening in St. Charles. I mean, we're just going to be eating chicken and playing pickleball pretty soon. Pickleball it's not a new sport. It's been going on since the 60s. It just recently had a resurgence because Americans are idiots and we just love doing new things. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's not even new, but we all know what it is. It's ping pong / badminton / tennis. But tennis players hate pickleball players. They hate the sound of it. They hate our existence. They think we're phonies. But pickleballers are going to pickleball, you know, and we love it. So that's why they're making an establishment just for us to keep us off of the tennis courts.
You know, it's very interesting. It's a $350 million development.
Yeah.
Like I knew people love chicken.
Yeah.
Maybe pickles, but like pickleball, like that's amazing. And actually, it's funny. So when I first heard about this, I think it was like a month later, I went to New York, and there's that skating rink that you always see in all those holiday movies in New York. Well, now, like for right now, it's like 100 pickleball courts. And I was like, oh my God. Like,
oh, that's the size of it?
No, there's like 100 courts.
Oh, that's what it is when it's not
ice
cold outside.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's crazy. Oh, here's.
It's sweeping the nation. It's sweeping the nation, folks.
What's that thing called? Like in music, it's the. It's almost like a clock.
Metronome.
A metronome. If young
got the metronome. Hey. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
No.
But yes, so shout out to St. Charles because OCAS, you know, we think about everybody. The St. Louis Metro, maybe you're listening to Chicago, but if you're in St. Charles, you got a lot to look forward to with chicken, pickles, and pickleball. Chicken and pickle.
I'm going to wear a skirt. Okay, what's next?
Now we're going to talk about another festival because we are in festival season. It's the 6th annual Frizz Fest, and that's going to go on there at Tower Grove Park. Now, Leslie Hughes she's so excited to talk about it. We actually got her on the podcast later, so make sure you tune in. But this festival encourages self-love and inspires confidence amongst women while hosting events and providing resources to help them along their journey. They're going to have vendors. They're going to have obviously food vendors. I mean, you know I'm going to be there. They're going to have food trucks, food snacks, everything. They're also going to have merchandise. They're going to have classes there to teach you, you know, how you can do your hair, and they're going to have hair competitions. Let's see. Oh, and live music. So they're going to have a lot of live music. And then for an additional fee, I believe it's about $50, you can go see Grammy Award winner Maya, which, okay, I got story time.
Okay.
So long time ago, back when like Six Flags, they used to do like, oh, if you have a season pass, you get a free concert ticket, or it was like $5-10. That's when I saw Maya. That was back in the Lady Marmalade days. But yeah, so she's going to be there. So you already know I'm going to be at that festival. But also, like, Frizz Fest is very positive, and I love what they do. They're going to have crafts for kids. Like I said, demonstrations, local music, DJ Nico. It's a good time.
Where can I buy tickets?
So it's going to be free to attend. I believe you can buy tickets on frizzybynature.com for that. Or I'm sure they're going to be selling tickets for Maya because, I mean, once everybody finds out Maya's there, they're all going to show up. But yeah, you can buy that there in person. And are you a Maya fan?
I enjoy Maya.
You remember that song, The Real Lady Mama?
Well, duh.
Yeah, that's a classic. Do you think she'll bring out Christina Aguilera?
I don't think she's going to do that.
Okay, yeah.
But she might ask me to fill in for Christina Aguilera, and I won't say no. Is this an indoor event or an outdoor event?
So it's going to be outdoor.
Okay.
It's going to be outdoor. So it's going to be on when you're, you know, everyone knows Tower Grove Park. It's horizontal, right? It's almost like a miniature forest park with a tower. And it's going to be on the half of the park that's towards Grand. So you can enter in towards Grand. It's going to be like a big festival. It's going to be cool.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
And Leslie will be on the podcast in a little bit to talk about it.
Yeah, love that. Yeah, I mean, I'm asking too many questions.
Yeah. She'll talk about it a little bit more. But no, like when I started learning more about it, and like, you know, she started it, after her mom passed, and she felt like it was her calling. And
Let her talk about it. Shut up.
oh my God, that really, I was like, man, I'm there, and I've heard great things. I know people that have attended it. So yeah, anyways, Frizz Fest. If you're looking for more information, make sure to follow them on Instagram or frizzybynature.com. And Leslie will be on a few minutes.
All right, it's time to take this conversation to another level. You guys, there's a new restaurant in town called Levels. It's West African Nigerian cuisine, and it's called Levels because it's a 2-level restaurant. And Levels comes from the popular Nigerian slang that means something that's upscale or on another plane. Because this restaurant serves immaculate vibes, okay? You can look at their menu that is divided in 3 different courses, and the recipes are made true to Nigerian methods. They're going to be open 6 days a week, and they've got just some really delicious looking food going on. They've got jollof rice, pounded yam, tilapia on veggies, pepper soup. I'm so excited to go. You said you haven't tried it yet?
No, and I'm gonna have to try it because I know everyone's gonna ask me about it. But like people all over town have been talking about them, and like I've seen some of the photos, and I'm like, okay, presentation 10 out of 10. I heard the vibes there, levels, 2 levels, but also the food. Everyone has told me it's incredible, so I gotta try it.
I've been to South Africa before, and their food was so good, and the wine was so good, and I think about it often, and I mean it's different than West Africa, but I would love to just recreate those 2 weeks that I was there, and that food. I would love to taste that again, and oh gosh, I can't wait. I really can't.
I think we're gonna go to Levels after this.
I think we need to.
We're gonna take this up to the 2nd level, and eat there and enjoy all their food. And I know everyone's gonna ask me about it, so I definitely have to go there soon.
Yeah, for sure.
A lot of you are probably recovering from last weekend, but we're going into Labor Day weekend, so that means there are some events around town you're looking to do with your family, your friends, or your local bestie. So we brought on ours. Amber, how you doing this week?
Yeah, good. How are you?
Doing wonderful. What do you have for us for this holiday weekend?
Yeah, so we have a lot going on this weekend. Friday, we're kicking it off at the Science Center with their First Friday movie series. They do this once a month on the first Friday. So this month, it is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. On Saturday, we have the Japanese Festival at the Missouri Botanical Garden. I went last year. It was a blast. They have food, entertainment, and I believe a little bit of shopping. On Sunday, we have a pop-up market at 9 Mile Garden. I believe they're going to have over 30 vendors there. And the 9 Mile Garden is just a really cool concept to begin with all of their food trucks. On Saturday, we have the Tower Grove Farmers Market. Now, I know this is a weekly thing, but it is literally the highlight of my week, so I have to include it. And on Sunday, the Tower Grove Farmers Market hosts the Boulevard Market over in Brentwood. Also on Sunday, we have, well, I guess it's the entire weekend, the graffiti wall painting. They're doing that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's over by the Arch. I believe it's about 2 miles long, and it is beautiful. There's just a whole graffiti for that 2 miles. And then an art fair in Queenie Park. And that's our weekend.
Now, have you ever experienced Paint Louis before?
So I haven't experienced seeing it being painted, but I have experienced a graffiti wall.
Please tell the story.
So I live pretty close to it, and my dad was shocked one day that I had never seen it in person and took me on his motorcycle. So that was quite the experience, but it was neat. It was very immersive. I got to see it up close. Well,
it's really cool. I went last year, and it's absolutely incredible. I mean, these artists are painting, about 15 feet high, 50 feet wide. And they get that done in 3 days, and it's just incredible. And people come from all over the world. So I'm definitely going to be there. And for a full list of everything going on in St. Louis this weekend, make sure to check out at local.bestie on Instagram. Or for the different events that we talked about on the podcast this week, make sure to follow at Opecast the pod. So thank you, Amber.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's Foodie Friday, and this week I brought on Malik Wilson of Show Me St. Louis. You've seen him all over town, and we may or may not have done the 5 is 1. So check this out. Foodie Friday. I'm here with Malik Wilson of Show Me St. Louis. He's a big gamer. You may have seen him all over town doing his thing. Malik, what's good, man? How you doing?
What's up, man?
Dude, appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir.
And actually, the last time we linked up on camera, it was Taco Fest. And I'm not gonna lie, you're like, Brad, can you come over here? We're gonna go live in 1 minute. And then,
Oh my goodness.
yeah, and
I forgot about that.
dude,
But
I formed like 5 sentences in one sentence.
listen, if I ever play an improv game, I'm bringing you on because literally we were about to be SOL, for lack of better words. And Brad was over there. Earlier, we mentioned people that just pop up out of nowhere. Brad popped up out of nowhere at the right time. We were literally a minute out from the show starting. You popped up, and I'm like, you were like, hey, what's up, man? Listen, shut up with all the crap.
Yeah.
I need you on air right now. Like, I need you. And you popped right in, bro. So
You're like, I got 1 minute, man. 1 minute. And I'm like, Kyle, Taco King.
Cal comes out of nowhere and bounces in.
He's like
just in
walking with
time.
swag, and I'm like, bro, like we're going live. But when like he got in the zone, man.
No, he did. He did. Both of you guys. You still held your own. So, within seconds. So.
Thanks. That I'm gonna put a link to that footage in the bio. Yeah. So for Foodie Friday, what are some of the spots that you enjoy going around and enjoying around town?
I know we talked a little off camera. One of my go-to spots is 360.
That rooftop view.
The rooftop view is amazing. The drinks are amazing. The staff is amazing, and you feel like royalty when you're up there.
Yeah.
You can be literally just an average Joe, and just go up there. You get the beautiful views. You can't beat it.
Yeah, and then it's like really cool, like around like golden hour and stuff. You know, you get a good sunset view of the city. It's a good date night spot. So what's another spot? What about lunch spot?
I've been told I need to eat breakfast more and I need to eat lunch more. And with that being said, with me running around all the time, I usually just stop in Subway
To eat fresh?
To get a fresh, they say it's fresh, but to get like something that's healthy. I try not to eat, junk food.
Yeah.
Because I am a habitual person who will go to McDonald's, get something quick from the dollar menu. But, when I'm being intentional and trying to eat somewhat healthy, I'll go to Subway and get like what's the special going on now? Buy one, get one for 50 off. It's crazy that I know
Is
that.
it really?
Yeah.
I thought it was $5 still.
No.
Is it not? Wait, how much is a sub sandwich nowadays?
I'm paying like $11 for one.
11. Man, you talk about inflation, man.
But it's a foot long. These things are huge.
But it doesn't slap when you're like what $11 foot long. No, $5.
$5 foot long. Yeah, those were the days. And
And so-
we love the foot longs. Listen, my people are gonna kill me for that, but we love the foot longs. But yeah, listen, St. Louis food is amazing. I love it a lot.
What about a date night spot?
Date night spot. Ooh.
Or a night out with your friends, like.
Ooh, another great spot that I love. Well, this is about food. I'm not gonna lie, I eat at home a lot.
Okay,
I eat
so
at home a
what
lot.
are you making?
Honestly, anything that's really healthy in a sense. So I make fish every day, salmon every day with like a rice, some type of vegetable. Usually like mixed vegetables because my mental always like because like every vegetable like has its own like product of goodness.
Yep.
And so mentally, I'm always in my head. I'm like, oh well, I can't just eat corn today because then I didn't eat anything green. It's like I can't just eat the green and the corn because now I need something for my eyes. I need some carrots in here,
Damn, you went through the whole pyramid, right?
I'm like,
everything we learned back in like.
I went through a health issue. I went through a health scare, so it's like now like everything is intentional that I put into my body.
Being careful with
Yeah. Even though I just downed this whole.
Yeah, you just ate
Thing of
churro
popcorn
popcorn. So this is gonna go on the flyer. You guys are gonna see. We're gonna have 360. We're gonna have Subway and then Malik's house.
Oh, I
think that's
got a
fair.
new house, so like people can definitely come. I'll serve you some food through the window.
Yeah, the pop up. That's how they started in 2020. So, all right. So now a night out. Where are you going for a night out around town?
Night out again, 360. I love 360. I love to go to House of Soul. That's a really cool spot. Honestly, anywhere in Ballpark is a lot of fun. Oh, the drinks are amazing. Oh my gosh, I'm an old fashioned guy. And I don't drink often, but when I do drink, it's an old fashioned. And like my joy, like they're like, oh, what do you want in it? I'm like, make it the best way you would, you know?
Like as if you're going to drink it, yeah.
Yeah. And
Strong.
Katie's Pizza, as well as what's the new place? The Armory.
Yeah.
And 360. And granted, it's by person. You know, you can have a person at these places that makes it really good and another person who doesn't, you know. But those three places have had people who made an old-fashioned, like...
It's a new places bringing back the old-fashioned drink, right?
Yeah.
Damn. So,
Way of putting it.
how can people follow you? Like, we see you on TV all the time, all around the community, and you're a big gamer. People may not know that, but how can people follow you?
You can watch me on Show Me St. Louis every day at 10 a.m. on NBC here, Channel 5. You can follow me on social medias at Malik Wilson TV. And I try to keep my YouTube and stuff out of it because I wouldn't say it's a whole nother side of me, but
My guy's a gamer.
If you're into that type of stuff, it's cool. And it's not like anything bad or anything, but
It's gaming.
people might watch and be like, what is this?
For Malik's full Foodie Friday list, make sure to check out on Instagram. It's on the Opecast, the Pod, and STL bucket list. So, Malik, appreciate you.
Yes, sir. Thank you, man.
Yep. Early on the podcast, we talked about Frizz Fest, and so I caught up with Leslie Hughes, who's the founder of the whole festival. And so check out our interview. What's going on, Opecast? It's Braden STL, and today I'm here with Leslie Hughes of Frizz Fest.
Yes.
So, Leslie, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing amazing. I'm just excited to have you on because Frizz Fest, I mean, I'm seeing it everywhere, all over town.
Oh, that's good.
So,
Let's go.
we're going to get into Maya here in a minute.
Okay.
But before we do, let's talk about you. We were just kicking it, talking a little bit about your inspiration. But for those who do not know, let's talk about your St. Louis journey and what got you here to this point.
Yeah. So born and raised St. Louis.
Let's go.
Okay. So born and raised St. Louis. I know the thing with St. Louis is say with high school, but I didn't really go to a cool high school. I went to private school, but I went to Luther North. And then went to college in Mizzou, came back from college. I was the retail manager for Kohl's, hated it. Ended up moving to LA.
Oh.
Yeah. So I lived in LA for almost 4 years.
With Kohl's or no?
No.
Okay.
I quit. I gave my 2 weeks.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
No, how was it quitting? You're like, all right.
Oh, man, it was like, it was the worst job I've ever had. I was working like 60 hours a week. At the time, I was also in a not so very good relationship and was ending that. And I just wanted like something new. My best friend was already out there. She called me one day. It's like, our lease is up. You want to move with us? Like, yep. Put in my 2 weeks, packed all my stuff, shipped my boxes of clothes through USPS. I don't know how I made it there, and drove.
This was all within
straight to
2 weeks.
Yeah.
Wow.
And drove to California with my brother and his friend. And so I stayed there for like 3.5 years. Good. It was a good time in my life. I don't need to live in LA again unless I'm like rich and I can live in the hills or something. So, moved back to St. Louis. It was just time. I had a lot of deaths in my family. I lost my grandmother, my 2 aunts, and my mom in the span of being in LA. So that's why I moved back. That's how I ended up back in St. Louis. So after my mom passed, I came back to St. Louis. I think I stayed for about 2 weeks and tried to rush back to LA to try and rush back into a normal situation, whatever. That was not the right thing. But 6 months after that, my aunt passed away, and that's when I was just like, I want to be home. So
come back here.
I ended up coming home for the holidays and really ended up staying. And so that's how I got back in St. Louis, and ultimately how Frizz Fest and Frizzy by Nature came about.
So when you were in LA, what are some of the things? Because when you travel, you pick up new things. You're for me, I'm like, I got to bring this back to St. Louis, this and that. But you lived there for three and a half years. And so what were some of the things that you picked up while you were out there?
Yeah.
Learning, living in that culture of, literally everything's happening all the time.
Yeah. I think that, right before I had moved, that's when I had really gotten into the natural hair movement. So right before I moved, I had just get like perms, relaxers, wear my hair straight. And I ended up getting that cut all off, and that was really on accident. I had went to a new stylist for graduation and like cut all my hair off, but then that's when I could see like my curl pattern.
Okay.
So, but like at that time, I was like, oh my gosh, like this is who I am. Like I felt free, and then I moved to LA, and I was kind of like just still in that space, like completely new, not knowing everybody. I felt like it was really a time for me to like just explore other sides of me. Yeah. And I think that was really one of the main things I learned. Like I really got into fitness and working out. That's where I went vegan in LA. And of course the weather is beautiful, like hiking, all that amazing things. And then also just the diversity, like the different groups of people and just seeing all different kinds of people. And also obviously LA just has all the clubs, the hangouts, the different events, restaurants. So it was just, I don't know, I just got a new, just a new side of life. Yeah. And then I think that, but it wasn't, I don't think like I learned anything from LA that, made me want to create Frizz Fest. I think it was more so the time of my life that I was in, sad, really, like moving back to St. Louis, that was what really kind of like catapulted my like want to bring something to St. Louis, because it was really for me, but turned out to be also for the community of St. Louis.
So you came back here, this was, I would assume, right about 6 years ago? 7?
I think it was 2016.
Okay.
Yep, 2016.
So how was that process of coming up with Frizz Fest?
So initially I sat down, it was January 1st of 2017, and I moved in with my brother and my sister-in-law, and we were on the couch, and I had the idea. I was like, I had just got into the natural hair movement. And really it started out me wanting to rent a space to get women together to talk about natural hair and products, tips.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, and then, but that wasn't it. That wasn't what it was for me. So right after bringing that up, I was like, no, like let's do something bigger. Let's have like, an outdoor event. And literally from that day, it started. And the first Frizz Fest, I always say I didn't expect, I would just be happy if my family and friends show up. And then just from the beginning, like blew my mind.
How did you promote that first one? As
Instagram.
So through Instagram, but like, okay, so what went into that process of planning that first one? Because it's definitely a lot different than it is right now.
Yeah.
Like, what was it like from, okay, this is what we're going to have, and then you promote it through Instagram, but let's talk about
so luckily my dad is a lawyer. So I really leaned on the people, like my family and the people who I had around me. So my dad set up all the legal stuff, trademarks, the application to be a 501c3, and then really Tower Grove Park. I don't know why. Now to think about it, I wasn't living in Tower Grove Park. I don't know why, but I knew I had family and friends that lived on the South Side, and I really liked the diversity of the South Side. And I had been to Tower Grove Park, so I just chose Tower Grove Park. I don't know. I don't even know why. It was meant to be, I guess. And then went online, booked a pavilion. You can book a pavilion for like $120. And booked that. Yeah. And then my one of my best friends from high school, Jesse, who actually runs Dear Fathers now. Yeah, so I went, reached out to him. He had his own branding company at that time called Brand Fiend. Hey. So he designed all my flyers, my logo, and like, so from the beginning, I had the branding on point.
Yeah.
So I think that helped.
Huge.
Yeah, I had that. So he designed all that. We didn't have any performances. We had a dance group that that my brother knew. He used to work, not for the Urban League. I forgot what it's, another nonprofit organization. And we got a dance group from there. People that I knew that sold products. We had about 8 vendors under the pavilion, and just posted on Instagram. And then people kind of like, I don't know, leaned into it.
That's amazing, because it was put together with love through the family and your close friends. And how many people ended up showing up to the first one?
Like, I think we probably had we had 600 RSVPs. I'd say like 400 people showed up.
I mean, still,
That's crazy. I know.
You thought maybe 40.
Yes. Like 20.
Or 20,
and
wow.
Like 20, and then so from the jump, blew my mind, but it was also just showed me it was needed, and wanted and necessary in St. Louis. And some they have, and I don't know if you heard, other LA and Atlanta and New York, they have these natural hair festivals, these black festivals, black music festivals, all these events in different bigger cities. And I know, to my knowledge, I hadn't experienced that in St. Louis. So I kind of just, I don't know, I wanted to bring something like that here.
Well, it's even if there was something, which I do not know about, it's it's a different, different vibe. Someone else could be doing it in a whole different way.
Yep.
And it's you're seeing these things in all different cities, and that happens even with the content I make and the stuff the events I host, I see it in all these other cities. I'm let's bring it here.
Yep.
And so, that first year, let's also talk about that feeling of you didn't know how many people were going to come. So what is that feeling like? Okay, it's, we start at 11, it's 11:10, no one's here. And then all of a sudden you're so busy, 2-3 hours later, you have hundreds of people. What was the reception like that first year?
It was great. You know what? And then the first year I emailed different brands, hair care brands for samples. And so we had these nice giveaways for the first people that showed up. So I think that got people there too.
On time.
It's not as easy to do that anymore, but it was just, I don't know. I think it again, it was just, I knew at that time, I was walking in my purpose. And then you get on Instagram and all I saw on my timeline was people posting and Frizz Fest and stuff like that. Yeah, for my event. So, and just to not have been in St. Louis for almost 4 years and to come back and be welcomed like that. And I know that St. Louis, I don't know, sometimes we get a bad rap that we don't support each other. And I think that might have been one of my first or second posts, for the first or second year. I don't know. I was just I don't know what y'all talking about, but St. Louis supports me. They supported the hell out of me. So I think it just kind of showed that, if it for the right reasons, for the right intentions, St. Louis people, they gonna show up and support.
As long as you're real, you're authentic and genuine, people are oh yeah, I rock with you.
Yeah.
Now if you try to be something you're completely not, and you're I'm gonna bring in this new thing and look, and it's
that's no show.
Yeah, you're showing, and plus, one of the greatest things is this has grown too, and so you've grown a community around that. Let's talk about that. How is that community?
Yeah, and I think I'll speak to the growth. I think I talk about that a lot now because of where we are, but I am grateful for having to grow. I didn't come in this space. I didn't have any resources or help or who to anybody to go and ask who had created a festival before, and not to say that there weren't any before, but no one I could touch or that I knew or who can ask for assistance. So I think I paid for everything on my credit card. I had no sponsors or anything like that. So, but I'm grateful for that because it did it's trials and tribulations, and we learned a lot. And I think it also makes in the whole process just a lot more grateful for how far that we have come. And as far as the community, I had people vendors who have been there from the first day, and it's just amazing feeling just to be able to connect with people in that way, and also just to do what we can to inspire people. I used to say if I can just inspire one person, I'm good. So to be able to inspire a whole community of people is just such a good feeling, and it's what really keeps me going. That's
amazing. Now, how were you guys affected by the pandemic? So you had 2017, right?
Yep.
18, 19, and then 2020 happened. How did you all pivot what you were doing?
I think, honestly, 2020 was trash, but we needed a break. We were growing at a rate that I think we needed to step back and have a break and kind of think on like, okay, where do we see this going?
Mm-hmm.
I think we would have grown too fast where we couldn't like handle it, and we would have had a lot of like lessons we needed to learn.
Yeah.
But we were able to pivot. We created an event during that time called Walk the Walk. Mm-hmm. And it was a 5K run walk that we were still able to have in 2020 and 2021 because we could social distance to the park.
Right.
So it was just another way for us. We just like pivoted. We knew everybody was stuck in the house, and at that time I think you like really started to see how important like physical activity was, or being in community and getting sunlight. You know what I mean? So I think it was just another way for us to kind of really like hone in what our people needed and be able to like create that for them and that space for them. So we did the walk the walk 2 years in a row, and then 2021 we brought Frizz Fest back.
Which is like, it's weird to even think about that was the norm, you know,
Yeah.
like legit a whole year just stuck in your house. Like it's
crazy. I
Yeah.
can't believe it.
it's wild.
It is.
Now, how was it the first year back? And actually, let's say the last 2 years, because last year, 2022, you had about 3,000 people. Yep. Were you ready for 3,000? Like, how was that?
We were ready.
Okay. We're ready for 30.
We were ready. I think, obviously, we learned from that too. Some things, like, that's why we got 19 food vendors and trucks this year, because having that many people like to eat. Like, that's the main people, people come for is food. So, like, just like stuff, learning like stuff like that. But still, like, that's the thing about being able to like grow at a certain like rate where we can learn from our mistakes and build up on that. So we were ready. 2021, that was just kind of, we had 2 months to plan it. We kind of just, we have done it for 3 years prior. So we kind of knew like the basis of it. We weren't able to get, obviously, no time to reach out to sponsors. So it was year 5, 2020. No, last year was year 5, but we had like, I think we had charged $5.
Okay.
Yeah, we had charged $5 to be able to get money for the festival because we needed it. But that was cool. Sure. And we ended up in a different section of the festival, and then 2022 came, and we were able to like, I don't know, like we had time to promote it. To get things in order, and I think too we moved it to September. Better weather. Yep. Not as hot. We have been getting the hottest days each event, the hottest day of the summer. So September really helped because people like, then I always wanted like people to come out and bring blankets and lawn chairs and coolers and hang out.
Just chill.
And I think last year was the first time like I really saw people doing it.
So how has it been getting sponsors going into your 6th year? Is it now that, a lot of companies, like what I've realized, they have to see the numbers. Like, even though you're like, hey, we're doing all these great things, they got to see the numbers. Yeah. And so how has it been getting sponsors into the 6th year? How's that process? Is your network also growing as you connect with more? Okay.
Yeah, I think that... this year we've gotten the most sponsors that we've ever gotten, and I think a lot of that comes from like we have the history. We've been consistent, and we do have the numbers to show for it. But also, I think most importantly, I don't really believe in like, I don't want to, in a sense, like networking or just getting to meet people just because you want something or how they can help you. But I think I have been able to make some really good, just like genuine connections,
relationships.
And if they're not the person, then they know the person or things like that. And I've been really intentional with just like, I can be a homebody, I can be to myself. I have a core group of friends, but when I like put myself out there and just like connected with different groups of people, attend different events, it's just I'm just able to move around. Different people get to know who I am and exactly what we do. So for example, we got a sponsorship from Walmart this year, and it happened. It happened because the woman, she ended up coming to the Frizz Fest brunch and introduced herself to me.
That's awesome.
And she had been following Frizz Fest and had attended, and she really liked what we were doing. And then that turned into, so it's just, I think it's just like keeping at it. We have a good brand, we have a good product, and I think it just happened like that. And this year I also like took the leap of applying for grants, and I had never done that before, and I was able to get 2 like this year. So
Let's
that was
go.
crazy. Yeah. So, you know, but it's never enough. We need more.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know what I mean? But no, it's been a really good year where we can, you know, we're able to do the things that we want to do.
Well, and that's something like we've talked about on this podcast with other people, or I've talked to other people about, is just the importance of, you know, that community support from the stance of, you know, getting sponsors and things like that, because that just allows us to help more of our dreams come to life. And it's not like, yeah, give us a, you know, a $10,000 grant and we're putting it in our pocket. It's like, no, we're investing in this event that's going to enrich the lives of hundreds or thousands of people.
Yeah. And then it's like, how much it's like costing up to put, like, people who don't do events have no idea how much it costs. And it's like every little thing costs, and especially when you're growing, you have to add additional like
bigger
security,
stage.
bigger stage,
more porta
EMT,
potties,
more porta potties, like all that stuff. Even us, Tower Grove Park, that is a public park, we spend like thousands of dollars just to rent out the park. So it takes a really like crazy amount, especially on a certain type of level, to like run an event like a festival. So the money is needed and it is being used. And then also just, for example, like I always speak to our vendors, because that's a really important part of the festival, because it's like, you know, 99% Black owned businesses, women locally from St. Louis. And so through sponsorships, for example, with Square, we have a sponsorship with Square, but we're able to like give them terminals, you know, that they can use not just at Frizz Fest, but for other events that they do. Awesome. So it's not, we want to be able to, that's the importance of us creating like a sense of community, because, we don't want to support them just for Frizz Fest, but along their entire journey. And we do a lot of other events that we just reach out like, hey, want to be a vendor at this event, or, you know, I'll send my list out of Frizz Fest vendors for like we partnered with the Grow Fest one year. So just like being able to support our people, our community in St. Louis is like a big aspect of it, and sponsorship helps with that too.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge. Shout out to everyone that's watching that has ever sponsored an event, especially Frizz Fest.
Yes, thank you. I appreciate y'all.
So as we look at this upcoming 6th Frizz Fest, what can people expect?
Everything.
Everything. That's St. Louis.
So, yeah, so this year we're bringing Maya, and that's crazy for me.
Let's talk about that.
That's
like,
insane.
How because I've seen Maya before. It was at Six Flags St. Louis, probably back in like 2004.
Okay.
I got off the Screaming Eagle, and she was about to perform, so I saw her perform.
What? That's crazy.
Like back then.
Okay.
If I get a chance to meet her at Frizz Fest, I'll have to see if she remembers.
That's crazy. Okay.
But how did that happen? Like, how did you get Maya to be part of Frizz Fest? And she's been speaking about Frizz Fest too.
Yeah,
I saw her
she
on the
has.
news.
I think that we kind of like, you know, we went down a list of people who we wanted and liked, and who would like fit, like who made sense. And Maya, just like her team was responsive. They seemed like really into it. And then Maya just kind of fits. She's vegan. She has a healthy lifestyle. You know, she's natural. She's like, I don't know. And then she's like nostalgic, like just that
icon.
Yes, like that 90s time in our life when music was at its best. Sorry, but it was. So to be able to like bring that energy to Frizz Fest was just, so when she was up for it and got back to us, it was like a no-brainer. So that's kind of been.
What was that feeling like where you're like,
what? Like,
you're like, oh.
I don't know. Like, and we've been working on this since, I don't know, January.
Yeah.
And then we just like, I don't know, announced it in maybe April or May or something like that. So we've been kind of sitting on it for a while. So it was insane. And when she like agreed to do interviews, and I think she like said my name on one, I'm like, oh my God, that's my bestie.
You're like, I've made it.
I made it, yeah. So that was insane.
It's like when you know, like when you are part of something like that and you know something, it's like you really want to share with some people, like, hey, but for real, you can't tell somebody.
Yeah.
Like, but like that one was one you're like, okay, dang, I can't even tell anybody.
I'm a big person too. Like, I don't want to say nothing until I know what's happening.
Facts.
I am not like, even though I feel like I'm in a place where I could brag about what I'm not. Like, I don't. That's just not me. Like, I want to like my actions and what actually happens show. Like I don't want to talk about anything. Yeah, I don't want to talk about. Let's not talk about it. Let's just be about it.
Well, it's like, yeah, I feel you on that. Like you don't want to get your hopes up. You're like, until you're in the moment, like, cool. If this happens, great. Like, because it's like that's something I've learned. Just being like, I've gotten my hopes up about something and then it didn't happen. Yeah. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna play the level. Like if it happens, I'm gonna be excited. But if it doesn't.
Yeah, and then I do care about what people think, especially the people who support Frizz Fest. So I don't want to like get their expectation up about something that may or may not like fall through. So when I know something is going forward, that's when it's time to like announce it.
When she was on the news talking about it, I think everyone was like, okay, this for real happening.
Yes, yeah.
So in addition to her performance, what are the hours? What part of the park is it in?
Okay, so I keep forgetting like the name, but we're in, so the entrance in Grand, we're in the whole front end of the park. Okay. So we have that whole, like from one end to the other end blocked off, like the streets will be blocked off. So this will make, Frizz Fest will be the third largest event in Tiger Grove Park after Festival of Nations and Pride. So I'm excited about that. Shout out to Tiger Grove because they just been like really great to work with. They like accept like diversity in different groups of people and different types of events, and they've just been really good to work with. But anyway, so it's from 11 to 6 p.m. It's 7 hours this year. This is the longest it's ever been. So we'll have obviously Maya, and open up for Maya is BB from St. Louis. She's amazing.
Hey, she's awesome.
She's awesome, but we also have the festival stage where we have an amazing lineup. We have Rachel, Galladay, Root Mod. We have some like dancers coming out for the event. DJ Nico is our Frizz Fest DJ. She's been with us from the beginning too, which is crazy. So I knew Nico before she was Big Nico. Okay.
Now she's like almost every event I go to, like they invite me to. Like,
she's popping. Yeah.
I go to like
she's
this
amazing
gala at the zoo. She's there. You know, I'm like, oh, snap.
She's everywhere. She's always been Big Nico, but y'all didn't know yet. We knew. Nico, we have, I think like almost 50 vendors this year, most we've ever had. Wow. And we have, I'm gonna brag on our vendors. We have the best of the best vendors. I mentioned it, we have like close to 19 food vendors / snack vendors, so you will not be hungry.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, so we have Community Circle where we feature different nonprofit organizations, and also like our sponsors, and like Verizon, who also has like different resources and programs that they can offer to like the community and things like that. And then we have a youth zone, so we have something for the kids, and we have like games, and we'll have Gamers Island come out with like video games. We'll have face painting and balloon twisting.
You're like literally, like every kid's happy there.
Yeah, it's a whole, all that good stuff. I know I'm missing some. We have a hair show this year, produced by 10 Dive Healthy Hair Solutions. So we introduced that last year, and it was a bang. So it's like a hair / fashion show, and that's like the bomb.
Can you explain what that is? Because like I know like my barber, he used to compete in those kind of shows over, I think in Los Angeles actually. Okay. But like now, is that just showing people how to do the hair, or is it a competition?
We will have that, but the hair show is not. So basically, Healthy Hair Solutions, we had a model casting call for it and everything. So we have models, and they'll be dressed in like different, I'm not going to say the theme. It's like a cool theme this year. Cool. But so they'll have like different fashions, but have these extravagant hairstyles. Okay. So last year we had a model with literally a big heart, like made out of roses. Like
that's all I gotta see. I'm gonna have to see.
It was crazy. So, and then we have they'll have dancers that do a dance routine. So it's a whole show in itself. And then we'll also, to your point, we have a new section called the Hair Fair, because I always say it's not a natural hair festival. Anybody is welcome to come. Any type of hair type, hairstyle. Frizz Fest is to be what you want to be, what you feel the most comfortable in or with, but we do have a hair fair for people who want to come and learn about how to take care of their natural hair, and Healthy Hair Solutions is a part of that. So it's Flore Beauty, and they'll have like hair models where they'll be doing hair demonstrations, how to use product, different kind of hairstyles and things like that. So, yeah.
And people can ask questions while they're
They can
there.
ask questions,
Okay.
giveaways, free giveaways, samples, buy product, all that good stuff.
I feel like you have everything tackled. You got the
I do,
live
and
music.
I feel like I'm still forgetting some, but
I know. I think one thing that I saw on your website is like if someone's like, "Oh, I can't be there," they can still donate to.
Yes.
Will they donate to Frizz Fest or they could donate to Frizzy by Nature?
they'll be donating to Frizzy by Nature.
Okay, gotcha.
And then so Frizzy by Nature is the nonprofit organization that like birthed Frizz Fest. So, but we also do different events under Frizzy by Nature. For example, we did Frizzmas that was during Christmas.
Nice. I like
And we
that.
was like a vendor event, and we had Santa come out, and kids got to take free pictures with Santa and cookies and hot chocolate. We've done like Black Girl Spa Day before. We do sunflower yoga with Nico, where we pay for people to come and do yoga sessions. So
cool.
we just try to do events throughout the year that kind of like just pour into our community for different like reasons, what we feel like what's needed and necessary.
It's like people can come to the festival. Even if you don't have any friends, you just come. You'll make a new friend.
Yes.
It's good vibes all around. And
Yep.
then after that, you'll have a friend to go to other Frizzy events.
Yes, you do. Well, just like we post everything. We're Frizz Fest on everything, Instagram, Facebook. So, and we also have been blessed to be able to work with different other community organizations. Where we do other events, other community centered events that we post and speak about, because we just got a lot of good stuff going on in St. Louis, and people just need to tap in.
I feel that. Now, before we wrap things up, we're going to go over two things. The first one will be if you can sit down and have dinner with anyone, 3 people. So
Okay.
you're at a table of 4. So if you want to play dominoes or something afterwards,
Okay.
or you're in a booth.
Okay.
You have 3 other people with you. Who would they be? It could be, a famous person. It could be your neighbor. It could be family member, whoever.
Okay. So my mom for sure, Tabitha Brown, and Issa Rae.
Oh, Issa Rae.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Issa Rae, I just rewatched Insecure, and it's when she started her throwing different events called Block. And it's like, oh my God, me and Issa on the same. Like, I feel like I could just like, and even some of the ideas that she did and some of the things she did in that, I kind of like used it for inspiration.
Oh, yeah,
She had did at her apartment. She had did like an event to invite sponsors to come out to kind of talk about the event. So we did a mixer last year. So I don't know, Issa Rae is like dope, and she puts people on, and I think she just has so much like knowledge that I can learn from. And then she's just like, I don't know, she's like to me like a genius, and she's hilarious. So
Yeah, she, my wife and I think it was like last April, we went to go see The Read, the podcast.
Okay,
and I forgot what it's called. The building, some big old building in DC that's very nice. I can't remember, but everyone turns their head, and then like I look and I was like, oh.
was it Issa Rae?
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my-
like she's like probably like 15 feet, and she just has this glow to her.
She does. She
Like,
has
it's
like
amazing.
the prettiest skin ever, and then she owns like coffee shops, and I'm obsessed with coffee.
What's your favorite coffee shop here in town?
Dang, that's
Or one of your favorites?
I like. You know what? I do like Latte Lounge.
Oh, I love that place. Well,
That's
now
a
you're
good-
talking about North or
The one
Midtown?
downtown.
Yeah, that's
I
a
haven't been to
vibe.
the one in North County
Same.
yet.
And that's your old neck of the woods.
I know I need to go. They opened a new one. They opened
I
another
saw
in
that.
Ferguson.
Yo, shout out to Latte Lounge.
Yeah, and then I went to Fiddlehead Fern or something.
Yeah,
Fiddle-
by Botanical Gardens.
For the first time, fire.
That's a cool little spot.
Yeah.
Like I like going there sometimes and then going around Botanical Gardens because I go to Botanical Gardens during the free times.
Okay, yeah.
'Cause, you're a city. I think it's city county resident.
Yeah.
And it's like
I
from.
think they open like an hour later or something for people.
Oh, it's like 7 a.m. to noon on
Okay.
Wednesdays and Saturdays.
Okay.
So that's when I'm going.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah.
but
Can I have you talk about why Tabitha Brown and why your mom?
oh yeah, I
Yes.
was gonna. Yeah, I digress. Good call.
We got stuck on Issa Rae.
Yeah.
Coffee.
Issa. But yeah. So let's talk about Tabitha Brown and your mom.
Okay, Tabitha Brown, I think she's a prime example of what is for you is for you. Because she, she's been, I think she like wanted to be an actress, and she's been in the game and working hard, and she got her break from just like being her, like posting stuff on Instagram, videos on Instagram. And I think that it's just like, I don't know, she's like just such an inspiration just to be who you are and like let your light shine and the world will see it. Like, and then I think like she kept, to me from the outside, she kept on doing, you know, what mattered to her, and then all of a sudden like everything fell into place for her. And she's also just like a beautiful spirit, and she also reminds me a lot of my mom. I think they're the same sign, but I think I could just like lay my head on her chest and like just feel like so. And then but she can like, you know, give you like a little snapback, you know, but in a nice kind way. Yeah. If it's needed, you know, she stands her ground in like what she believes in, and
we'll have to get her to Frizz. She'll be at Frizz Fest one day. I know. I'm putting that into existence. Like,
please, I have tried to email, DM, all that.
It's happening.
Yeah, and she wears a lot of colors, and I love colors. She's great. And my mom, obviously, that's my mom. Yeah. Like, yeah, I miss her, and she was just like the craziest, funniest, sweetest, like boisterous personality, and I think that like. And I know she sees it, but like I would love for her to be here, like to see, like, or you know, because she's proud. Yeah, she's proud. And I think if she was at Frizz Fest, she'll get on stage and take the mic and start talking to the crowd, because that's who she is. But I just would like her to be here to experience like all the things that because I built this with my brother, you know, too. So just I know she's super proud, so I would love for her to just kind of be here with us. Yeah.
She's definitely watching you all.
Yeah, she definitely is for sure.
Proud of y'all. And then when Tabitha and Issa comes, she'll be like, see? You said it on the podcast.
That's right. I'm speaking that into existence right now.
Well, lastly, we like to go over, I almost said your name, but I'm like, lastly, words of wisdom. So, you know, whether it's someone that's looking to one day, you know, start a different festival, someone that's going through a tough time, maybe they're a creator, whatever. What is some words of wisdom that you would like to provide?
I think it's like, just from me, what I've learned, you just gotta like go for it and do it, because I think, from personal experience, I think if something was placed in your heart and it's for good intention, there's no way you can fail. So I think, and it may look different than what you imagine it would be. You might have to go through some windy roads, paths that, you know, heartache, depression. But I think just know that if it's like something like placed in your heart, that I think like you just have to go for it, but you have to like continue to work for it. Like it's just not, it's not going to show, the idea might show up in your heart, but the opportunities and all that is just not going to show up at your doorstep. So I think that just keep going at it. When the days come where it's sad, just remember your reasoning. And I think it'll all fall into place. Like just you'll meet the right people. Your name will enter in rooms before you do. Like you said, be yourself, and people will see how I like love, you know, people just being authentic, and like let your light shine, and the world will catch up.
Ooh, I wish I had like some let your light shine and the world will pop up. Bam. Yeah. Well, how can people follow you now? You and Frizz Fest.
Okay, me, I am Frizzy Flowers on Instagram, and Frizz Fest on Instagram, and Frizz Fest on Facebook. And I will give you my personal Facebook, but it's private.
Yeah. Let's go Frizz Fest, y'all.
Yeah, Frizz Fest on everything. FrizzyByNature.com. Yep.
Well, Leslie, I appreciate your time. Everyone, make sure to go to Frizz Fest September 16th from 11 to 6 p.m. at Tower Grove Park. It'll be on the grand side. Yeah. So you probably have to park around the side.
We'll have a shuttle service this year.
Oh, that's clutch.
We'll have Uber and Lyft drop-off areas to make parking as easy as possible.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Hey, thanks. Good work. As always, I want to thank all my co-hosts, the people behind the scenes, including Jason, who is editing this, along with Midcoast Media for hosting us at their studio right here in Midtown St. Louis. If you enjoyed the show, then please like and subscribe on YouTube and follow at Opecast the Pod on all social channels as we grow our community.
Get with Malik. Come on.
Hilarious.
Are we rolling right now? Yeah, we're rolling. Yeah. We're rolling. Look at me hiding in the bushes.
Are we doing the thing?
We're doing it.
3, 2, 1. Malik, can I call you? Can we talk on the phone for 5 minutes?